So I'm going to be predicting the rough finishing positions of each team in the Southern League Premier South for the upcoming season. I'm not a particular fan of doing these, especially when you predict the exact positions of teams, in first down to 22nd position. It's a bit harsh on some teams, I feel. So in this video, I'll be doing my predictions where I think roughly each team will finish in the Southern League Premier South, right down from first down to 22nd. So each team's going to get a rough prediction. It could be quite a close prediction, within 3 or 4 league positions, or it could be many league positions. So there's quite a few teams. Like I said, there's 22 teams in this video to work out where I think they'll roughly be. So in the comments down below, feel free to post your predictions where you think each team will roughly finish. It's going to be tough. There's quite a lot of teams that I don't know enough about. When you consider this isn't the Premier League, you don't know the ins and outs of all the teams, it's hard to make a prediction, hence why I'm doing a rough prediction of each team. So we're going to do this in alphabetical order, kicking things off with AFC Tottenham. Now they won their Southern League Division 1 South title last year, and they're bound to have lots of confidence. I think most teams that have won the league title the previous campaign and gone up to this league will have loads of confidence. But AFC Tottenham, they've got a great squad they're putting together, and I think they're going to do very well. They could be one of the underdogs this coming season. So for that reason, I've got to go to my phone now again to remind me where I put them. I'm going to say anywhere between 2nd and 12th. I think they could go up this season once again to make it back-to-back promotions, but at the same time they could finish as low as mid-table. That's not a bad first start for them at step 3 of non-league. So yeah, I think that'd be a great first season for them. Next up is a team that I know very well, and it is of course Basingstoke Town, having just won the Isthmian South Central Division on the very last day after Thatcham scored right at the death against Walton and Hersham. Now I think they will do very well, but on the flip side, I don't think they will get relegated if worst comes to worst. I mean, I think they might struggle personally against big defenders up front. Step 3 of non-league, especially this division they're coming into, there's a lot of big defenders, and I feel like up front I think they've made a decent signing in Rowe up front. Apart from that, they haven't got many big strikers at the moment as of recording this video anyway. So I think my prediction is fair for them. I don't think they'll go down, but at the same time I don't think they can win the league. But of course, being at the Winkleby Football Complex long term, I don't know what consequences that I have on them on possibly getting promoted to step 2 for the first time in God knows how many years it's been for them. Because I don't know quite if they can qualify for the playoffs or not, because they're in the scenario where if they win the league, they either have to surrender promotion and give it to the second place team, the automatic promotion spot, or they got to relocate to another ground a million miles away, like they did, well, even further than Winchester, that can host step 2 football. So it's going to be a tough year for them in terms of where they go long term. But my prediction, I think, is fair. I'm going to say third. I'm going to say anywhere between 3rd and 16th position. I think they can finish in a playoff spot, and I think they could maybe end up bottom half of the table. But I don't think it'd be the wrong half of the. I don't think it'd be far down the bottom half of the table. I think it would be 16th at worst. So I think that's not a bad first season for them back at step 3 for the first time in 5 years, something like that. Beaconsfield, I've heard they have made quite a fair few signings. They did okay last season, and I predict they're going to have a decent season this year. I'm putting them 4th down to 14th position. They could make the playoffs, or they could finish mid-table at worst. I'm sure Beaconsfield are going to give it a jolly good go, and they'll be another underdog team to watch out for this season. Next up is of course Bracknell Town, after finishing 2nd in this division last term and losing the playoff final right at the death against Truro City. What heartbreak that was. We have lost some key players, there's no doubt about that. Gary Aversogan, Dan Bayliss and Michael Platt going to Slough. Daryl Sanders and Jack Dean going to Farnham, going 2 steps below the step 3, which is a big shock, but there you go. I'm sure Farnham are going to do well, but that's a different topic. I think we're either going to do very well, or go one better and win the league title, or finish just above mid-table. So I'm putting us down for between 1st position and 9th position. Now, if we win the league, that'd be fantastic. First time at step 2. But on the flip side, I mean, 9th position, I wouldn't say that's a bad result myself. But in terms of the progression of the club, it would be deemed a failure, no doubt about it. But look, I'd be happy with the playoffs. I think that is the main goal. But winning the league title, wouldn't that just be ever so sweet after that playoff heartbreak last year. Nobody likes the playoffs. I mean, who does? I mean, they're great for the atmosphere and the occasion, but losing the playoffs is just so heartbreaking. It really, really is. Next up, we have Cheshire United, a team who had a very good season last year. They made the playoffs. We beat them in the playoff semi-final 1-0 through Gary Abersogan. I think they're going to have a very good season again. They've made some good signings, I believe, and I think they've got a very good squad. I'm going to put them second down to 7th position, so I think they'll either make the playoffs or they'll just miss out on it. Simple as that. But I think they could be a decent team to watch out for. Poole Town, they got promoted from I think it's Southern League Division 1 Central via the playoffs. It's a bit of a tough one to call. I have no idea how they're going to do. They could have a tough year. I'm putting them 15th down to 22nd position. I'm sure finishing just below mid-table will be an incredible success for that club. But at the same time, we can't hide from it. They could finish rock bottom, but maybe not. I reckon, they could do well for themselves. But we're going to have to wait and see on them, aren't we? Dorchester, a former Step 2 side. They did okay last season. They've got a very nice ground. I'm looking forward to going back there next season. I'm putting them down for between 6th and 11th position. I think they'll be, they'll either just miss out on the playoffs or they'll be just above mid-table, floating around somewhere like that. I'd like to see them do well. Like I said, former Step 2 club, great. They've got a massive ground for the size of that club, and in a way, I would like to see them do well this season. Now, Gosport Borough, interesting one. They've got one of the average highest attendances last term. They are no doubt decent sized club, and they did struggle last year. They really did. They weren't far off the relegation spots, if I remember rightly. So I'm putting them 12th down to 20th. I don't think they'll finish as low as rock bottom, but they could get relegated. But I believe they could still finish as high as 12th position. Hamel started off very well last season, but they dropped off, I'd say, in the second half of the season. So in that case, I'm putting them 8th to 14th position. Great club. I love visiting them. I think mid-table will be a very respectable result for them, but there's no reason why they can't push for promotion again. But yes, tough one to call for Hamel, but I think around mid-table is about right for the London Geordies, and maybe they will better my result, but we'll have to wait and see, won't we? Harrow Borough. This is an interesting one. They actually got relegated last season. However, they stayed up via a reprieve because Metropolitan Police took a voluntary relegation down to Step 4. I think they're going to struggle again this season. I'm putting them 16th to 22nd. Could finish rock bottom, but could finish just below mid-table. Yeah, I predict they're going to have a hard time. There's no doubt about it. So who knows, they could go down. Now, Hayes Yedding. These guys were one of the favourites, if I remember rightly, for promotion last season. But they struggled and never really got into those playoff positions, and I think this season they might struggle again, but there's no reason why they can't push for promotion. They are a decent sized club. They've got a decent facility there. Ted Lasso was even filmed there for the training ground scenes, but I'd like to see them do well myself. I think they do deserve better than being mid-table, but my prediction, I'm putting them down for 6th to 9th. So my prediction is just missing out on the playoffs and just above mid-table, but maybe they can get one better than me. Who knows? Hungerford Town now, they were relegated from Step 2, the National League South, after I think it was 7 seasons in that league. Now this would be interesting for them because they're coming down, and usually when a team comes down, they're going to be the favourites for promotion, aren't they? Why wouldn't they be? But I think they will struggle on their first turn back, but I think they could well go up on the other end of the scale. So I'm putting them 2nd down to 8th. I don't think they got it in them to win the league, going by their signings and how much of a disaster their season was last season. But I think they'll either make the playoffs or they will just miss out a couple of spots behind. But another team, it's an interesting team, Hungerford, because it's a small town. They haven't got much in the way of a fan base. You could argue that more than some of the other teams in this league, but they've also got a record amount of stands in one ground. I think they've got like 6 or 7 or something mad like that, and they all look completely different. But who knows? They could have a good season. But yeah, I'm going to put them for, say, the playoffs, roughly, I reckon. Merthyr being the only Welsh side in the Southern League, I don't know much about them. I'm not going to lie. If I remember rightly, they finished around mid-table last year, so I'm putting them 5th down to 15th position. I'm looking forward to going to Merthyr this season. And they got some nice fans when they came to Bracknell, so I'm looking forward to seeing those guys again. But I'm going to put you guys somewhere in around the mid-table. Plymouth Parkway now, another side I do not know too much about, apart from the fact it's a bloody long journey there. It's about 4 hours, I think, for me. I'm hoping to go there this season, but I'm putting them down 10th down to 19th. I don't think they'll be relegated. They could potentially be relegated, but I think they could finish as high as mid-table, so I've got nothing more to say than that. Now Salisbury, they actually struggled at times last season. Bracknell, we even beat them 6-1 on a cold Tuesday night, I remember it well. Didn't vlog that one because I don't think I was feeling very well, or because I wanted to have a little break, I can't remember. But I think they will finish between 10th and 16th. So 10th to 16th, I don't think it's too bad for them. It's a very competitive league this season, and I think mid-table at best will be realistic for them. Sholing, playoff winners last season. I've heard they've spent a lot of money on player wages, so this one is, they could literally be anywhere in the table. I don't think they'll be promoted and make the playoffs, but I think they will finish as high as 8th position, or they could even finish rock bottom in 22nd. So I'm saying 8th to 22nd. I have no idea how that's going to pan out for them. Let me know in the comments below if you know anything about Sholing and where you think they will finish this season. But I think they're going to be one of the most interesting teams in this division. But I'm looking forward to seeing Bracknell playing them this season and seeing how they fare against us. Swindon Supermarine now, and they just missed out on the playoffs last season. They were very consistent, but as were most other sides last season in this league, like Cheshire United and Poole Town and Bracknell. So they finished in, I think, 6th position, just missing out on the playoffs. But I think they might fare better this year. I think they'll finish between 4th and 10th position, so they could make the playoffs. But on the flip side of things, they could finish just above mid-table, and again, another good club, and I think they'll be in the mix for promotion this season. Just 3 teams left now, and we got poor old Tiverton Town. They seem to always get mugged off online, and unfortunately, my prediction is no better. I'm going to say 15th to 22nd. I'm looking forward to going to Devon, one of the grounds I'm actually looking forward to most visiting this season, but I think just below mid-table at best, or rock bottom at worst. Could be completely wrong, but I'm looking forward to going there. And Tiverton, yeah, I know that Max Fournier, if that's how you say that surname, might be watching this. I'm sorry for mugging you lot off again, like a lot of other people are, but yeah, I don't know what else to say on the subject. But it's interesting to know what sort of players you think will stand out this season. So yeah, drop those thoughts in the comments below. Wharton and Hersham are up for their 4th successive promotion this upcoming campaign, having won the South Central Playoff Final against Hammer Villa last season. These guys, this is the team that have got 1 million followers on TikTok. They are a club on the rise, owned by the youngest owners in world football. I think they're going to do very well. I think they'll be big underdogs this season. I think they could potentially win the league, but they could miss out on the playoffs. So I'm putting them down for 1st, down to 7th position. And the first time of asking at step 3 for the first time in, I think it's around 8 to 10 years, they shouldn't complain about that prediction. I think they're going to have a very good year, but they have lost one of their key players in Jordan Adeyemi, their forward. No idea where he's gone yet as of recording this video, but I'm looking forward to going down August Bank Holiday Monday, but they're going to be an interesting team to watch out for, so other teams in this league, watch out. Last but certainly not least is Winchester City. I have a soft spot for this club, and I love what Craig Davies has done. He's a big fan of this channel, by the way, and I'm sure he'll be watching this, but he's taken them from step 4 to step 3, and they cement themselves in this division for this season after staying up last season. They had a very good year, finishing just a few places above relegation, and I think this year they'll be going for one better, that's for certain. Maybe not promotion, but they have signed Connor Lynch, who scored nearly 30 goals for Basingstoke 2 seasons ago. That could be a major coup for them this coming campaign, and I don't see why they couldn't finish near mid-table. So my prediction for them, I think it's a fair prediction. I'm going to say 10th to 22nd, so let's not beat around the bush. They could finish rock bottom. They have got one of the smallest playing budgets in this division, but at the same time, they could do very well. Signing Connor Lynch could be a masterstroke as long as he doesn't get injured and he's consistent in scoring goals. So I think they could finish as high as just above mid-table, and you know what? Why not? I think Craig Davies has done a fantastic job for them, and who knows, one day they could maybe make step 2, but that's my rough predictions for the Southern League Premier South for 23-24 season. And let me know in the comments down below where you think roughly the teams I've mentioned will roughly finish this coming campaign. There's going to be some interesting ones, some teams that, there's no doubt there'll be some teams that will overachieve and those that underachieve. But these predictions have been nothing more than a bit of fun, so don't take them too seriously. Obviously, there might be some people going, you can't say that about my team or whatever, but I've made my prediction, I've made it, put it out there. Now let's hear yours. But if you've enjoyed this video, hit like, it helps support the channel massively, and subscribe for more non-league content. But yeah, thank you for watching, and hopefully I'll see you guys very, very soon.